comfortable, relaxed, yet alert, and close your eyes or gaze softly in front of you, whatever's comfortable. And let's take three centering breaths together. So breathing into the nose and then breathe out through the mouth. You're going to settle down into your mat, to your sitting position, wherever you are. All right, next, deep breath in, and then feel the air as it exits your lips. Relaxing your shoulders. All right, last deep breath in through the nose, and then long breath out. Okay, let's relax the whole body now, be top to bottom. So from your head and your neck, and then down your shoulders. And then noticing how your chest expands as you breathe in, and how it contracts as you breathe out. And then let's breathe through our arms, from the shoulders, all the way to our fingertips. And then noticing where your glutes and your bottom touch your mat. And then through your quads and hamstrings, your knees. You're sitting cross-legged like me, where your knees touch your calves, and then from your calves to your feet. And then noticing your touch points on your mat, so your bottom and your feet, just how they feel against your mat or your cushion. And then pick a point on your body that you want to focus on today, or at least just focus right now on how it feels. And towards the end, we'll think about that same body part. So just sit here and ruminate on maybe a particularly sore part, and then just continue to breathe. In this last minute or so, don't think about anything at all. Just continue to sit here. Before we open up our eyes, let's do one more deep breath and hold it at the top. So breathe in through the nose, and then hold it. And then I'm going to play the singing bowl. When you hear being played, you can exhale. So let's open up our eyes, readjust to the light. Second longest day of the year because yesterday was the solstice. All right, so let's turn our torsos clockwise or to the right. And let's start with a sitting spine twist, looking back behind you. Hopefully your view is as nice as mine. My bike is behind me, so that's always fun. But push into the ground with your right hand to lengthen your spine and then continue to twist, turning your chin into your right shoulder. A little bit of a neck twist as well. And then let's exhale and gently unwind. Let's twist our spine in the opposite direction. So, oof, press the right hand into your left knee. Left hand is pressed into the ground or the base of your spine. Okay. Chin is turned towards your left shoulder. And let's breathe in gently. And then exhale and unwind, coming back to the front. And let's get one for our necks while we're sitting. So let's sit on our right fingertips or right hand and reach our left hand over our head. And let's gently pull in our head. Or I guess you could even reach over, doesn't matter. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Whatever works. We're
Oh
stretching,
God, that's good.
but we're sitting on our right hand to remind our right shoulder to get pulled down to the ground since we're stretching our necks. We'll gently release our head and switch hands. Let's sit on our left hand and reach our right hand over our head, pulling towards the right. Okay, hopefully your neck on the left side feels nice and long. All right, let's release our head and then get off our left hand. Now let's do a sitting side stretch. So look up to begin and reach both arms up like you're trying to touch your ceiling. And let's come down to the right. So planting the right palm on the mat, reaching our left hand over our body, turning our chin and looking up towards the ceiling. Okay, if you feel that stretch go all the way down the left side of your body. Oof.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's lift the left or the right hand up off the mat and then plant the left hand down. Right arm goes over your body towards the upper left hand corner of the room. Oof. All right, give yourself one last little reach with that right hand. And then bring both hands back up at the top. And then bring both hands to center. All right, let's get the inner thighs. So, let's bring our feet together in front of us. Let the knees come down towards the mat. Gently pull your heels in.
Oh.
All right. Let's lean forward like a hinge towards our feet. And you can either pull on your feet. I guess just pull on your feet. But feel the inner thighs. And every time you exhale, relax your body. You pull yourself forward. All right. Deep breath in through the nose. And then round out your back as you reach forward. Let's crawl our fingers forward. Ooh, nice. Ugh. And let's sit back up. Let's lift our knees together and let's stand up gently. Ugh. Mm. Let's hit the hamstrings. Find a nice wide stance, toes facing forward. Arms reach up. And then exhale as we swan dive forward. Ugh. Okay, legs are straight. We're looking back behind us. Fingertips or palms planted. And push yourself towards the back of the room. And let's fold our arms and rest our forehead on our forearms. Letting gravity do everything here. And just rock back and forth. Okay, hopefully you feel the stretch in each leg being accentuated every time you hit your sides. Ooh. All right, let's clasp our hands behind us and then reach our arms or hands towards the ceiling. Further letting gravity do the work here. Ooh. Okay, those hamstrings are really beginning to open. Let's release the hands back down to the ground. We start with planting the right palm or right fingertips on the ground as we open up our chest on the left and reach our fingertips up towards the ceiling. Make a nice vertical line with your arms, really pressing that right hand into the ground. And see how high up you can turn your chin towards the ceiling. And then we'll exhale, bring that right or left hand back down. Plant that left hand on the ground. Right hand reaches up to the ceiling. Ooh. And then gentle breath in. And then let's bring our right arm back down. Ooh. Okay, let's just dangle here for a couple moments. Then we're going to do a slow 10 count to bring our body back up. Let the upper body dangle down. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oof, 9, and 10. Bring my legs together. We're going to do a standing side stretch next. So let's look up and reach our arms up to the ceiling. We'll start with our left arm down to our left side as we kick out that right hip. Okay. And then reach with the right arm. Feel the stretch from your hip through your lat to your right fingertips. And see if you can grab every last millimeter at the top. And then we're going to bring the left hand up as we drop the right arm down, hitting the left side, turning the chin up and looking up. Ooh. Gently lift the right arm back up at the top. Then bring the palms back to center. Oof. Let's get our necks. So
Yeah.
grab my left wrist behind my back. Okay, make a chicken wing on the right. And we're gonna drop the head over towards the chicken wing side. And every time you breathe out, see if you can relax your head and neck even further. Ooh. All right, let's tilt our head back as we look up, saying hello to the front of our neck. All right, let's rotate the head forward and look down. And bringing the head back to center, then back up top, and then switch sides, grabbing the right wrist, dropping the head over to the left. Ooh, let's relax with the breath. Tilt the head a little bit further, and then rotate the head forward and look down. Yeah. And then tilting the head back as we look up, just to round it all out, hitting the front of the neck. Ooh. Then back to center, and then back up top. You can release your wrists. All right, let's get a shoulder stretch. So I'm gonna start with my left arm across the top real quick, across the top of the chest. Oof. All right, and switch sides. All right, let's release the right arm. Let's get the left arm behind the head for a tricep stretch. Then move back to the lower half of our body. We'll get a hamstring stretch after this. All right, switch to the right. All right, let's release that right elbow. Let's get a chest stretch next. Oh, so the way I like to think of this one is start with your arms up in the air and pretend like you're trying to scrape the back of the wall with your fingertips and your elbows. Ooh, kind of feel my shoulder blades in the back too. Let's do it 3 times. So arms up top, and then gently scrape the back of the wall with those fingertips and elbows all the way down. All right, let's do one more. Arms up top, and then scrape the back of the wall. Ooh. And then we'll move back to the lower half of our body. Ugh. All right, check it out if you need to. Then we're gonna do a split leg hamstring stretch. Left leg in front, left toes facing forward, arms up top, and then exhale as we swan dive forward. And then drive the right hip towards the front ankle. Ooh, ooh. All right. Relax the breath, rotate that right hip a little bit more, and then bend the left knee and come on up. All right, then either switch sides or switch legs, it doesn't matter. So long as your right leg's in front, arms come up, and then we're gonna swan dive over that straight right leg, driving the left hip forward towards the right ankle. All right, let's bend the right knee and come on up. Ooh. And then we're gonna do a malasana next with enough hamstring action. So let's find a medium width stance. Put your little toes out a little bit. Bring the hands together in front and then lower yourself down. Okay, as far as feels comfortable as always, but also far enough to feel the stretch or the strengthening exercise, depending on how you want to think about it. As long as your body starts to feel good. Take a couple more breaths here. See how low you can get with each exhale. And let's put the hands on the legs to support ourselves and bring ourselves out. Nice. All right. Let's come to the front of our mats. Let's get our moving options. So feet and legs together, stand up nice and tall, arms come up. And as always, we do two warm-up swan dives. So swan dive down, come up to flat back, resting the hands on the legs. Exhale, round out your back, eyes up, reverse swan dive to the hands are at the top. Ooh. And then exhale as we swan dive down for number two. Come on up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding out the back, eyes up, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And then let's swan dive down for a third time. Okay, hopefully the hamstrings are trying to feel good here. Up to flat back. And then as you exhale here, plant both palms on the mat and step back into plank. And let's chaturanga down into upward dog. Push the floor away. Let's hold this upward dog for a couple moments. If you want to, turn the eyes and chin up, get the front of the neck. And then return to plank and push up here and come into our first downward dog. As we all know, we're going to do some bicycling of the legs to get the calves. So bend the left knee and drive that right heel down to the mat. Push the floor away up top. Okay. Say good morning to your calves. Switch sides, bend the right knee to get just the left. And every time you breathe out, see if you can relax your body, push a little bit more, and switch sides back over to the right. And then return to the left for a second time. Okay, last time on the right. Then over to the left. Ooh, the shoulders are starting to feel it. Just hang in there with me. All right, straighten both legs. We're going to do a sun salutation before we do a crescent pose. So walk your feet towards your hands. And when they're in front, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Exhale, swan dive down. Come up to flat back. Exhale, round out that back, plant both palms, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga down, upward dog, back to plank. Push up here if you like. Back into downward dog. And we're gonna do a crescent pose. So bring your feet and legs together. Let's add the knee to nose here, just one of them. Start with the right leg up in the air. Okay, hold for a brief moment, and then knee to nose. Right leg comes back up into the air. And then swing the right leg through and plant it in front. And then bring the arms and torso up for crescent pose. Left leg is straight and strong. Right knee is tracking over your right ankle. Okay. You might feel that in your left hip. Settle with your breath here. And then bring the hands together at heart center and transition into prayer twist on the right. So hands are pressed together, left elbow is resting on that right knee, right elbow is facing the ceiling, and that right leg is still straight and strong. Or I'm sorry, left leg is straight and strong. That right leg is supporting. Ooh. All right. And then from here, come back into crescent pose, arms reach up. And then from here, we're going to accentuate the hip stretch. So gently lower the left knee down to the mat, untuck that left foot, and then rotate that hip a little bit more. Okay, hopefully that left hip is starting to feel pretty happy. And then come forward with the arms and torso. Lift that left knee back off the mat. We're in the lunge. Okay, palms are planted. Bring that right leg back to plank and let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Sun salutation here, back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive until the hands are at the top. And then come back down, up to flat back. Exhale, round at your back, planting both palms, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga down to an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here if you'd like, and into downward dog. Nice. Let's do that same sequence, but for the left. So feet and legs together. Float the left leg back up into the air, or up into the air. And then knee to nose. Second time up in the air. And then bring that left leg forward, plant it in front. And bring the arms and torso up for crescent pose. On the left, right leg is straight and strong. Saying it correctly now. That right heel is reaching for the mat. Left knee is over the left ankle. Arms are reaching for the ceiling for a moment or two. Settle with your breath. And then bring the hands to heart center as we transition into prayer twist. Left. Hands are pressed together. That left elbow is facing the ceiling. We're breathing. Very good. Let's return to crescent pose. Arms are reaching up for the ceiling. All right, and from here, lower that right knee down, untuck the right foot, and then rotate your hip a little bit more. And feel that right hip stretch. I almost feel the stretch from my knee all the way up, almost to my, what's it called, shoulder. Whole side stretch. Ooh, the long one. All right, bring the arms and torso forward. Lift the right knee back up off the mat. Palms are planted. Left leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive. Under at the top. Swan dive down. Up to flat back. Ooh. Exhaling, rounding at that back, planting both palms, stepping back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Okay, back to plank. Push up if you're still with me here. And back into downward dog. Ooh, it is a lot of movement for a Monday morning, but that's okay. We love it. We're back on the right leg. So feet and legs together. We're going to float that right leg back up into the air. No more knee to nose nonsense. But swing your right leg through and plant it in front. Come to warrior one, so arms come up. Left heel is planted here. Square up your shoulders. Okay, palms are facing one another and we're reaching for the ceiling. If you notice your arms are bent, straighten the arms and reach up to the ceiling. Let's go into warrior two, arms front and back. Take a moment to check where your arms are. Are they parallel to the ground? Are they drooping? Are they too high? Adjust as needed. And let's dip back into reverse warrior. Okay, don't put too much weight on that back leg with the left hand. Back to warrior two. And let's reach forward with that right arm. Let's do some triangle pose action. Drop that right hand down to the ground. Eyes, left hand, arm reach for the ceiling or look towards the ceiling. Upward is the important part here. We're going to do the pretzel variation, so get ready. Let's take that left arm, drop it behind the lower back. Right arm reaches underneath your right leg. See if you can make contact. And then open up your left shoulder. And we'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Right hand is planted. Left arm reaches back up for triangle pose. And then we're going to pop back up into warrior two. Dipping back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Left arm swings forward and up for warrior one. And as your arms come down, that left heel comes up, plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Upward dog. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands. And reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And then the hands come back down. Up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding at your back, plant both palms, and we're back into plank. Let's chaturanga down to our upward dog. Ooh, back to plank. Push up here if you like. And into downward dog. Feet and legs together. Let's bring that left leg up into the air. Swing it on through. Plant the left leg in front and come into warrior one on the left. Arms reach up to the ceiling. Settle with your breath. Plug into your foundation here. See how low you can go. Can you get that left quad parallel to the ground? All right, arms front and back for warrior two. Eyes look forward, palms face the ground. Once again, settle and get a little bit lower. See what you can do. And dip back into reverse warrior. Reach for the back of the room, both left fingertips. And then back to warrior two. And reach forward with your left arm as far as you can go before you drop that left arm down. Right arm comes up for triangle pose. Okay, with those right fingertips, try to touch your ceiling. Reach. Really into reaching this morning. Whatever. Setting with your breath. And then drop the right arm behind your lower back. Left arm goes underneath the left leg. Oh, yes. Let's see if we can even out the stretch or rotate that right shoulder, open up, continuing to look up. We're going to stay at this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands. Left palm comes to the ground. Right fingertips reach up. And then we're going to pop up into warrior two. Arms front and back. And then reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. And let's swing that right arm forward up for warrior one. And then arms come down to the ground as that right heel comes up. Plant both palms. Left leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into our upward dog. Come back to plank. Push up here and into downward dog. Legs and arms are straight. Push the floor away. All right. We're gonna do chair pose next. So take a glance at that space in between your hands. And let's walk our feet to that space. Bring our feet and legs together as we drop our bottoms down. Arms come up into the air. Arms and palms are parallel. Palms facing one another. And give me a straight line from your glutes all the way to your fingertips. We're going to say this for 3, 2, 1. And then slowly straighten up your body. Lift your heels off the mat. Okay, like you're trying to touch your ceiling. Reach, work the calves. And 3, 2, 1. Heels gently come down. Feet are still together. Bring the hands to heart center and let's do twisting chair pose to the right. So left elbow's resting on the right knee. And then we're bending at the knee. See how low you can get yourself without falling over, of course. All right, come back to center. And then we're going to reach for the ceiling once again as we lift those heels up and off the mat. Palms are still facing one another. Arms reach. Say hello to your stabilizing muscles in those calves. What else are people looking at when they're drafting you in the bike, you know? You gotta make them somewhere. All right, take a gentle breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, lower your heels back down, hands come to heart center, and let's do twisting chair pose on the left. And every time you exhale, see if you can bend your knees a little bit more, lower yourself down a little bit more. You can do it. And then back to center, and last time up, reach for the ceiling. We all know I love working the calves, working the balance. And every time you breathe out here, reach up to the ceiling, lift those heels up a little bit further, active posture. Way to start a week. All right, let's exhale, heels down, hands come to heart center, and let's do some tree action. All right, let's start on our left side. So let's get most of our weight on our left leg. Get your right foot into position, whatever works best for you. You can even leave a toe on the ground, whatever. Add the arms as needed. Let's do 10 seconds each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at us. 8, 9, and 10. Let's bring that right foot out. We're going to shake out that left ankle as needed. And let's get all of our weight on that right foot and our right leg. Let's see if we're as even on the right leg as we are our left. You might not be, but again, that's okay. Find your balance and let's repeat that slow 10 count. Okay, standing up nice and tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, let's get that left leg out. I'm gonna shake out that right ankle. Shall we have a seat? That's enough standing. Overstanding. All right, let's do our classic table. Oh, groaning once we get there. All right, I think we all know what to do here, but soles of the feet in front, palms planted behind, and then prop yourself gently up. Bring those hips up, drop the head back. And I know I say this every time we do this, but somehow the shoulders all the way through the biceps feel incredible for this one for me. I just really like stretching. Not very good at it, but I do enjoy it. Active stretch gets bring those hips up. And right when I did that, my shoulders stretch even more, and it's incredible. Oh, all right. Gently lower yourself back down. Glute bridge is coming next. Oh, so lie down on your backs and then roll on your shoulders. Okay, arms can be at your sides or underneath your back to support. Let's do a one-legged variation. So if you can, otherwise stay here with both feet on the floor. But if you can, extend out your right leg. We're gonna hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring that right foot down. Let's get the other side, extending the left leg. Kick that heel out. Push your hips back up to the ceiling. 5, 4, hello glute. 3, 2, 1. Let's go to a two-legged version. Push the hips up now that both legs are down. And gently lower yourself. Ooh. All right, let's get some glute action or glute stretching. Glute action, that's a weird phrase. All right, let's get the right ankle on the left knee. Ugh. Grabbing the left shin or left hamstring. Okay. And let's breathe into the nose. And as you exhale here, relax your body. Focus on how that right glute feels and let the stretch get deeper. Okay, next breath, breathing into the nose. And then exhale deeply. All right, last time here, breathe into the nose and out through the mouth. Oh, all right. Release that left leg. Plant the right foot down. Left knee comes into position. Let's stretch out our left glute. So breathing into the nose and out through the mouth. All right, next one, breathing in and exhale through the mouth. Feel that left glute. Oh. All right, last time, breathing in. And then exhale, nice and controlled. And let's let go of that right leg. Oh. All right, we're already in our backs. So happy baby is next. Both legs are up in the air. And let's grab the outside parts of our feet, pulling in our knees towards our underarms. Pull your feet down to the ground and rock side to side. Ugh. And think about your spine against your mat. We're going to release any tension your spine has here. Hopefully it's not a lot, but if it is, also good. Really settle with your breath here too. Okay. And you can let go of your feet and return your legs back down. Ugh. Just exhale and settle here for a moment before we do our supine twist. Okay, take a couple long breaths, sink down to your mat. Okay, hopefully that felt as good as it does for you as it does for me. All right, let's start with our right leg. So hug your right knee into your chest. Enjoying that little stretch there. And then we're gonna pull our right knee over to the left side of our body. Okay, that left hip is down towards the mat. Extend out the right arm. And each time you exhale gently, so you can rotate your spine a little bit more. All right. Let's bring that right leg back to center. And hug in our left knee. Okay, forgot what the knee was called for a second there. Enjoying that little stretch. And let's bring the right knee, or I'm sorry, left knee to the right side of our body as we extend out our left arm, looking towards the left. We are twisting in the opposite direction, connecting with the breath with the movement. So each exhale brings a little more relaxation, a little more twist. I'm feeling good. Okay, let's bring the left leg back over. We're gonna sit on up. Let's do a hamstring stretch before we do our cat cow since we're already sitting. I know we should do a bunch of spine stuff and it makes sense to do spine stuff, but let's change up the order. So I'm gonna start with my left leg out front. Bring the right heel in towards your soft tissue. Left foot is flexed. Arms are up to the ceiling to begin. And then we're going to exhale forward, reaching evenly with the hands. The back of the left knee is still planted on the mat. And if you want a bonus side stretch, take that right hand and grabbing, starting with the inside part of your foot, move it toward the outside part of your foot. It's a tiny little movement. You can't even see it, but from the inside part of your foot to the outside part, and that diagonal movement should give you a stretch through your right side. All right, let's release that, switch legs. So the right leg is out in front, left heel is in towards your soft tissue, arms are up top, and then we're going to exhale over that straight right leg. And reaching for the toes or reaching for the heels. And just like the other side, if you're reaching or if you're grabbing the outside parts of both of your feet, or the sides of your feet, I should say, the bonus side stretch is when you move that left hand from the inside part of your foot to the outside part of your foot. Lots of words. Hopefully, it's lots of stretching. Let's release that. Let's do a quick one for both our legs. So left leg is now next to the right. And then let's start with the arms up and exhale over both straight legs. Ooh. All right, let's release that. Oh, let's do our cat cow next. So I'm gonna roll up my mat a couple times as I always do. Okay. Nice and cushion for the knees. We're on all fours. And then breathing in, bring the head and bottom up, chest is down. Exhaling, rounding out the back. Okay, push the palms into the ground on the exhale. Breathing in, head up and look up to the ceiling. And then exhale, press it on the ground, reach for the ceiling with your spine. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Two more cycles. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head back down. Oh, okay, one more time. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head back down. Come into a neutral spine. I'm gonna get off my mat. Unravel it. And our last one's gonna be pigeon. So find yourself in a push-up pose. Plank. I'm gonna start with my right leg out in front. So my shin is 90 degrees and the rest of my body. Ooh. We all know what to do here. Just settle in. Find that position that works best for you. We're going to hold this for another about 45 seconds. And every time you exhale, so you can get lower, let the stretch get longer. And we're about 30 seconds left. Hmm. And about 10 seconds left. Keep going. Enjoy that stretch. I know I do. Ugh. All right. Let's plant the palms in front. Push your torso up. We're going to add a quad stretch. So keep that right palm or right hand planted and reaching back with the left hand, grabbing the left foot. And you should feel that stretch go through your left quad, pulling in your left heel. Okay, wow, this I can tell my quads need it. So we're going to stay here for 3, 2, 1. Releasing the left side, planting both palms. Return that right leg back to plank. And then the left leg comes forward. Okay, untucking the right toes. Ooh. Settling into position. Ooh. Let's repeat those 45 or so seconds. It's about halfway. Okay, 5 seconds left. Enjoy that stretch. Okay, let's plant both palms in front. Okay, push your torso up and reach back behind you with that right arm. Pull in your right foot. I'm gonna hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that right foot. Oh, let's do a closing sequence. So let's get ready for child's pose. So sit on your heels. Okay, knees are as wide as your mat. Take a deep breath into the nose. And as you exhale, come forward slowly. Sink down into your mat. Enjoy that child's pose. Okay, let's thank our body for everything it's done, everything we ask it to do, everything we will ask it to do. A couple deep breaths at your own pace. Relax further. All right. Come forward gently out of child's pose. Rotate onto your back. For everyone's favorite, full body destroyer. Ugh. All right, let's revisit whatever body part you were thinking about in the beginning, that focus part. See how that feels. Arms are at your side. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable or gaze softly upwards. And we'll go for 60 seconds in three, two, one. That was about 60 seconds. Begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Let's reach the arms above, point the toes at the bottom, give you a morning stretch. Groaning as we get there. We'll wriggle side to side real quick. I like when I don't want to get out of bed, but I know I have to. Let's roll on to your side. Doesn't matter which. Just rest your head and face on your hands. Take this moment for yourself. All right. Whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the floor, leading with the shoulder that's in the air. Push yourself up. Oh. Let's return our sitting position. Oh. All right. And let's lengthen our spines once again as we do our three audible breaths. So, breathing in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right, number two, let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. Oh. All right, last one. Let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. Ah. Hmm. Let's bring our hands to namaste at our hearts. You may repeat after me if you wish. May you have clear and kind intentions. Let's raise our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. Let's lower our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications. And then returning our hands to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friends.
Stages.
Nice. We're gonna pause your watches. Well, I guess I might see you two this coming weekend, huh?
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Thank you, Joseph. This is yeah, you're doing the Lord's work here.
Our hamstrings need it. Let's be real. It's not for you, it's for the hamstrings.
Okay.
All right, let's have a nice week.
Good to see you both. See you this weekend.
Ugh.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.